It would not be wrong to say that humans have missed no opportunity to experiment with nature, or more precisely, animals. Over the years, scientists have worked notoriously and have created new genetically modified animal species that will blow your mind for sure. While some of them proved to be major disasters, some experiments became successful, and the results are quite surprising. So here are the top 5 animals created by humans. Here we go. Number 1. The human-pig hybrid. Well, first on our list is the hybrid of human and pig. A group of scientists in the United States created this hybrid by mixing the genes of humans with a simple pig. They describe the species as an interplanetary chimera. Well, for those who don't know, chimera refers to an organism or tissue that contains at least 2 different sets of DNA. This was the first ever successful human-animal hybrids created by scientists. The outcome of this project revealed that human cells can be introduced into a non-human organism, survive, and even grow inside a host animal. Unbelievable, right? But true? Now, let us have a look at how the scientists managed to create this hybrid. Supposedly, they injected human stem cells into early pig embryos and then transferred them into sows. In the next step, they developed past the trimester and turned it into living, breathing pigs. Coming to their physical appearance, they look pretty much like regular pigs with human cells in their body, of course. Wait, if they look like regular pigs, then what's the whole point behind this concept? Well, these hybrids are helping the scientists and researchers with more development and testing that they can create pigs that have organs that are compatible with the human body. Isn't it interesting? The ultimate goal of this whole project was to find a way to use the lab-grown human parts for transplants. One of the team members, Juan Carlos Espesua Belmont, from the Salk Institute in California says, "Our findings may offer hope for advancing science and medicine by providing an unprecedented ability to study early embryo development and organ formation, as well as a potential new avenue for medical therapies." Number 2. The spider goat. Next on our list are the goats with spider genes and silk in their milk. That sounds too weird to be true, isn't it? It all started when a professor named Randy Lewis came up with the idea to create a hybrid of spider and goat. He was actually a farmer, as well as a professor, and seems like he mixed 2 of his professions together. He was well aware of the useful properties of silk and so he took the step to modify goats at a farm at Utah State University, US, to produce large quantities of silk. What he actually did was that he took the portion of DNA of an orb weaver spider that produces silk and imprinted it in a goat embryo. This idea of Randy gave birth to these unusual but healthy freckles that secrete the protein found in spider silk instead of regular goat milk. Getting the silk out of the milk may seem a bit trickier, however. It is not that complicated. It is much more like making cheese. First, the fat is skimmed off, and then the silk proteins are processed out, like separating curds from the whey. The professor takes the milk out of these goats, and then filters out the proteins, keeping the spider silk. Seemingly, he wants to keep cultivating the goat silk for uses in clothing, as well as in surgical operations involving ligament repair. Randy Lewis has farming in his blood, and is concerned with advanced farming and crossbreeding animals. He says, "We're interested in dragline silk, the silk that spiders catch themselves with when they fall. It's stronger than Kevlar. It really has some amazing properties for any kind of fiber." Number 3. The liger and the tigon. The liger is one of the most popular animal hybrids which have parents in the same genus, but of different species. You might be confused by what the name suggests, so let us make it clear for you. The liger is actually a hybrid offspring of a male lion and a female tiger, but it is not the same as a tigon. Don't get confused, guys. However, you will never find one of them out in the wild, as they can only be found in zoo breeding programs. Talking about the liger, it possesses the features of both parents and has the coloration of the lion with the markings of the tiger. The average weight of a liger is somewhere around 900 pounds, and supposedly, they are quite bigger than their parents. Well, you will be surprised to know that their weight is near twice the weight of an average male lion and thrice the weight of an average tigress. Next comes the tigon. For those who don't know what a tigon is, it is actually a hybrid offspring of a male tiger and a female lion. The liger and the tigon are quite similar, except for the genders of their parents. Coming to its physical appearance, the tigon exhibits characteristics from both parents. They can have both spots from the mother and stripes from the father as well. The key differences between a tigon and a liger are that the tigons are usually smaller than the size of their parents, or sometimes the same as their parents. They weigh about 400 pounds only. Both the ligers and the tigons are sterile, except for some female tigons that can conceive children. Number 4. Beefalo. Next on our list is the composite cattle breed called the Beefalo, which was developed in the United States by Californian DC Bud Basalo. Supposedly, it is the most common crossbreed in the entire world, which is done by interbreeding American bison with domestic cattle. The outcome is a beefalo that adapts to the environment easily and has a high resistance to common diseases. Moreover, they have a high fertility rate, and yes, they wander a little less. The interesting part of this animal's meat is that it consists of a lower fat percentage and much lower cholesterol than a common cow. This species was actually created when common cows and wild bison made in the wild. You'll be amazed to know that beefalo were extremely popular during the 1970s, but fell out of favor primarily due to arguments over proving their bison content. However, one of the major reasons for raising beefalo was that they could be handled like domestic cattle while retaining bison traits. As of now, they are experiencing a renewed interest due to consumer demand and antibiotic-free beef. Coming to its physical appearance, this animal varies greatly in appearance, but usually it has a large frame and is well-muscled, similar to the bison. One similarity between the beefalos is their unique coat. This coat is made up of fine hair that enables them to adapt to colder climates easily. Number 5. Growler bear. The last on our list is a growler bear, which is the result of a grizzly bear and a polar bear mating. Also known as the Peatsley, the occurrence of this rare animal was first confirmed in 2006. Reportedly, a hunter named Jim Martell first shot a grizzly polar bear hybrid near Sachs Harbor on Banks Island, Northwest Territories on April 16, 2006. The physical characteristics of this bear aren't very consistent, the reason being that they don't retain one repeating trait from their parents. This simply means that most Peatsley bears are different to each other in many ways. For instance, one growler bear can have a wider coat like the polar bear, whereas the other one can have a more brownish coat, much like a grizzly bear. Some may have a shorter snout, and some may have a longer neck. However, one thing's for sure is that these bears are quite fertile, rather than being sterile like many other chimeras. To encourage this type of crossbreeding, some zoos have even put these two cross bears in the same enclosure, in turn allowing them to breed at their own speed and produce their mixed offspring. Now, coming to its size, most of them are quite smaller in size as compared to the polar bears, but bigger than grizzly bears in their paws, can be insulated with hair like the polar bears. Key can relate the behavior of these bears with the polar bears as they play with toys in a similar way. In short, it has all the characteristics of the polar bear combined with the power of a grizzly bear. Isn't it fascinating? Which one of these species excited you the most, and what characteristics of them did you find the most interesting? Do share your views in the comment section down below. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future.